Welcome to the HE-TV Game of the Week. Tonight we have Conant at 4-2 here at Barrington, taking on the Barrington Broncos, who are 5-1. Conant is coached by Mark Stilling. Barrington is coached by Joe Sanchez. This game will feature perhaps the two best quarterbacks, or the two best passing quarterbacks, I should say, in the mid-suburban West. At least statistically, they look very good. And they're very similar. Danny Modolski of Conant and Danny Kubiak of Barrington are the two quarterbacks. Modolski is 55%, roughly 55% completion, and he's passed for 1,293 yards and has only 2 interceptions. Kubiak of Barrington has about a just under 52% completion percentage. He's passed for 1,144 yards and has only 3 interceptions. Now O'Malley of Elk Grove has passed for more yardage than either of these. He's passed for 1,545 yards, but he has a formidable 10 interceptions by contrast to the 2 and 3 interceptions of the two quarterbacks that we'll see tonight, who are very accurate, very capable passers leading their teams. Some of the receivers for Barrington, Moran has 23 receptions. He's averaging 15.8 yards a reception. By the way, the receivers for Barrington are averaging very high reception averages. 15.8 yards a catch for Moran. Scotty Miller, who is, I believe, the fastest man on the Barrington team, he plays wide receiver, defensive back, where he also excels, and he's a kick returner. He has 11 catches, 323 yards. That's an average of 29.4 yards per catch, which is extremely high. Carbonera has an average of 11.3 yards per catch for Barrington. For Conant, Brown is their leading receiver. He's got 30 catches for an average of 419 yards, which is an average of 14 per catch. Coase is 19 catches, 252 yards. That's 13.3. Gardner has 13 catches, 140 yards for 10.8. So they have more catches but fewer yards per catch. The leading rusher for Barrington is Bell. He's got 303 yards on the year, and Conant, it's Gardner with 254. So you can see that these teams, for the year at least, through the first 6 games, are relying heavily on the pass. Now, last week, the Barrington running game did quite well, and 2 weeks ago, the Conant game did quite well, but they haven't consistently over the 6 games. It's been the passing for these teams that have gotten them to a 4-2 record and a 5-1 record. Kubiak, the quarterback for Barrington, is averaging only 1.3 yards per run, and Modolski has apparently he's been sacked a number of times. He's a minus 3.2. He's got 42 carries for minus 135 yards. That's a minus 3.2. So it's mainly the passing that has been driving these teams over the course of the year. Some of the key linemen for Conant, Mitch Tennis is a 6'6", 260-pound tackle. For Barrington, a returning starter is the center Anzalone. On defense, LaBarbera, who also plays guard on offense, is a standout at defensive tackle for Conant. And for Barrington, they have a 3-year starter, Colin Castagna, who's a big 6'4", 230-pound outside linebacker, and I understand that some major colleges are taking a look at him. And also on Barrington, they have another 3-year starter. J.P. Brooks is a 3-year starter at safety. Last week, Barrington had quite an impressive win. They won 35-21 over Fremd. Fremd had been doing very well before that. They held Frem to only 153 yards rushing. Barrington's run game had its best day of the year. They ran for 283 yards. And so they really had quite an afternoon. It was a Saturday afternoon game. I attended it. I was quite impressed with Barrington. They had a stretch after the first quarter, which Frem led 14-0. Barrington came on, dominated for a stretch there. They were 35-0. They had a 35-0 run. Last week, our game was Conant hosting Schaumburg, and they lost that one 21-40. It was close until the end of the third quarter, and Schaumburg pulled away. And Schaumburg, or Conant had 291 yards passing, but only 37 yards rushing. And so one thing to watch tonight would be, does the Conant running game help their passing a little bit to keep them competitive in this game? So tonight, I think the two quarterbacks are fairly close. Their passing statistics are very similar in terms of total yardage. Medalski's just a little bit ahead of Kubiak. They're similar. They're very low as far as interceptions. These are very accurate passers. So I think that the quarterbacks are playing very similarly. The difference in this game tonight will probably be the run game and defense. The team that does the best in those two areas will likely come out on top tonight.
Okay, getting ready for the kickoff here at Barrington High School. Conant is kicking off to Barrington, and here's the kick.
Scotty Miller is probably back there, number one. I think he's got the ball, and he's got blazing speed.
Yeah,
they tripped him up. But Scotty has run some kicks back this year. He's the fastest player on the Barrington team, and he's run back a few kicks and also had some big receptions as a wideout.
Looked like he had a chance to break that, but somebody was just able to grab a hold of his ankle and bring him down there.
As a wideout, he's averaging, let me get the exact number in front of me, 29.4 yards per catch, 29.4. So when he goes deep some of the time, when he catches it short, he makes it long. He's a big play, big yardage player. Here's Kubiak, the quarterback there, takes it and gives.
Oh, the ball is out.
Fumble.
Nobody's got it yet. Looks like Conant is on it. Yep, and Conant has recovered about the 13-yard line.
So with the first play from scrimmage, Barrington an inauspicious start after playing their best game of the whole season last Saturday afternoon. I was over here and saw the game, and they looked very impressive, but starting with a mishap here, bad handoff and bobbled football recovered by Conant, and Conant is set up at the at about the 15-yard line here for the 1st and 10.
Medalski swings it, off the hands of number 15 there. Bryson Brown not able to pull that one in.
Medalski having quite a year passing, 55% completion and only 2 interceptions. He's thrown the ball 183 times, only 2 have been picked off.
Should have had a completion there. That was right off the hands of Brown. So Conant looking over to sidelines for the play.
They're in their typical spread formation with in this case it's 2 receivers on both sides. There's
over the middle,
complete. He's complete down to about the, looks like it's down to about the
1-yard line.
1-yard line.
So Mike Kaz on that, 25 on the reception. So it'll be 1st and goal. Ball on the 1-yard line.
Now they go with the full house backfield here. three running backs. They've only got 1 yard to pick up, and the give is to the deep back, and he's in for the touchdown. So,
number 44, Elias Gardner.
Conant capitalizes on that fumble by Barrington. It's a pass by Medalski setting it up at the 1, and they just take it in and have the early lead here with a little less than a minute gone in the game. They're lining up for the extra point.
The kick is up and it's good.
And the extra point is good.
So Conant with the 7-0 lead early.
But Barrington has had a tendency to start games slow, but this is slower than most, I'd say, for them. They have a tendency to fall behind a little bit in the first quarter, but here they're right out of the gate. They're fumbling and allowing a touchdown with less than a minute. So
maybe they just wanted to get it out of their system.
Seems to be a characteristic that's hanging on with this team well into the season. We're now in the 7th game, and they have the good side of the story is that Barrington has come from behind to win almost all those games where they fell behind. That's the good part of the story from the Barrington side. I'm sure head coach Joe Sanchez would like to see them start a little better. Here's the kick.
A short kick coming down around the 12-yard line. Number 2 with the ball out past
Moran,
the 40.
I believe, out there.
Right, Matt Moran.
And with a nice run back on that, Barrington has good field position to put the ball in play this time.
Looked like they might have been kicking away from Miller, and Moran makes him pay for it. So Barrington's going to start 1st and 10 from their own 43.
Kubiak waiting for the snap.
Hand off up the middle. Going to lose yardage there. I don't think he quite got back to the line of scrimmage. Lost about a half a yard. No running room up the middle early in this game.
They've got Conant has big number 71, Hickerson.
Another handoff. Oh, keeper. Number 7 around the left side, able to drag a bunch of tacklers with him for a 1st down.
That's Kubiak running with the football. He did some running last Saturday afternoon. He has not done much running on the season, but last Saturday he had for him a very big day running, and now he makes a nice run for a 1st down here in the early going, so that may be something that they're starting to emphasize with him.
Picked up about 15 yards on that scramble and roughly 4 yards on that pass. So 2nd and 6 coming up. Hand off up the middle again. Squirting through. That's number 21, Nate King. So he picks up the 1st down.
Barrington has used a lot of different running backs over the course of this season, and last week Dylan Abel had quite a day, but
fake handoff, pass.
Kubiak, and the receiver,
number 2, Moran,
lost his footing right near the goal line there.
Tripped over the end zone stripe.
So that brings up second and 10. It's been the characteristic of Barrington's pass offense has been big plays with big yardage. The receivers sport some high average per catch yardage. Here's Kubiak keeping it again. This is
Picked up about 4 yards.
This is a quarterback who has averaged only 1.3 yards per carry this season, so he's well above his average tonight on a couple of carries. And going into the night, had very few carries. Only, according to the statistics of the Herald, he had 10 carries for 13 yards.
We'll pitch out to his back. It's going to be short. Dropped about the 24.5-yard line.
I think that 10 carries shows that he hasn't been sacked much, and that's to the credit of this Barrington offensive line.
4th and 2. Barrington's going to go for it.
They're in a spot where it's a long field, very long field goal. Fourth, only 2 yards to pick this up, and they're.
Conant calls a timeout. They want to talk things over.
So Barrington with an opportunity to do something here. 4th and 2, and at the 24-yard line, they can pick up a first down here. They're basically in the red zone. And what I was saying a moment ago was that the offensive line apparently has done quite a job for Barrington this season. They only had one returning starter, and that was the center Anzalone, but the other fellows that have come on, they've got Anthony Meads at 6'4", 285, and Serrano at 6'2", 250, Morrison at 6'3", 270, Jack Bornhofen at 6'1", 220, Ingram at 220, and Singh at 235 have been dividing up the playing time in the offensive line this year. Here we go, 4th and 2. Kubiak checking some signals. Pitches it.
And he's got it and more.
This is
number 25. That's Dylan Abel, who goes out of bounds about the 12-yard line.
He's 5'9", 175-pound junior. He had a big day against Frem last Saturday afternoon. And that run there shows you the type of running that he's capable of. Here's Kubiak again.
Hands off up the middle. Looked like Nate King. Picked up about 3 yards.
Nate King, a sort of a scat bag, 5'5", 170 pounds. Barrington has 2 receivers spread left and 1 right.
And off
to give up
King
the middle.
Up the middle. About the 6-yard line, 6-7. So that'll bring 3rd and 5.
Once Barrington got going last Saturday, their line play on both sides of the ball looked very good, and so far on this drive, the offensive line has played well, opening holes for several different backs, including Kubiak. Here's Kubiak looking
left, rolling.
He's got some heat on him. This time he gets rid of the ball. That time we had 24 and 30 come crashing in for Conant. That's Bradley Kyle, a defensive back, and Odell Andrews, a linebacker, that put the heat on Kubiak on that last play.
And Kubiak just throwing that ball away, putting it where nobody could get a hold of it, rather than taking the sack.
So now we're 4th down, but we're a lot closer than we were, and the kicker appears to be out on the field, and they're getting ready to place the tee down and try a field goal.
So 25, Dylan Abel. Kick is up. And it's good. So Barrington pulls a little bit closer, 7-3 now for a nice drive.
Barrington gets on the board.
So not quite able to answer the early touchdown of Conant. Now we'll see if the Barrington defense can hold Conant and give the offense a chance to possibly take the lead.
Barrington did really well against the run against Fremd on Saturday. They held Fremd to only 153 yards rushing, which I'm sure was by far their, well, I can't say that. I didn't see the Lake Zurich game. They were probably down around that level against Lake Zurich, but certainly way below their average. They've been averaging over 300 yards a game rushing, and Barrington held them to 153. So Barrington defense had a good day from the end of the first quarter on. The first quarter was a totally different game with Fremd opening up with a 14-0 lead, and after that it was 35 straight points for Barrington and on to a win.
Fremd very
Here's the kickoff.
One-dimensional without their quarterback Beutler. If you can stop the run, you can stop Fremd. So there's number 15,
and
he's off to the races.
He found a seam there and brings it all the way out to the 39-yard line.
Bryson Brown on that return, looking very good.
He's their leading wide receiver, and you can see why he's got that blazing speed.
Holding against Conant, that'll move the ball back.
Brings it back quite a bit. It's from the point of the infraction, so they're all the way back. They were out at about the 40, now they're back to the
30, 23.
23.
Conant again looking to the sideline for the play.
Barrington with a four-man line. They
hand off up the middle.
They have been using a lot of 3-4 defense this year and in recent years, but they had 4 men on the line. That's probably suggests that they're going with a heavy pass rush here to put some pressure on Medalski, who's got a high completion percentage, very few, only 2 interceptions all year. However, teams have been able to get through and sack him now and then.
Elias Gardner picked up 6 on that play. Pass is complete.
Medalski got rid of that one real quick and completed it. It looks like it should be a first down, yeah.
It is. That was to number 18, Dante Marski, giving them the first down.
First down, Conant, the 34.
Handoff, not going very far, maybe picking up a yard.
This is where Conant will need to probably show some improvement as the season goes on in the running game. The passing game is pretty solid, but the run game is most weeks, most games, it's been struggling. They've had a couple of games where they've had their running game going.
Takes it to Gardner, rolls out.
Throwing way downfield, and the receiver fell down there.
Yeah, he dove for it. It was out in front of him.
So
intended for Bryson Brown, couldn't get there.
Fairly well covered there as well by 21. I believe that's Nate King back on defense. Or is that 20? 21, I think, on the coverage.
I didn't see.
That results in third and fairly long, not third and 9.
Barrington man jumped as Conant turned to look to the sidelines.
Suddenly we have third and 4.
So Conant says thank you very much.
I think we
Much more manageable.
can look for Medalski to get rid of it real quick to one of his wideouts here. Try to pick up that 4 yards. He won't give them an opportunity to sack him, I don't think. He'll just decide, he'll make a quick decision on who's getting the ball and get rid of it quicker and try to pick up the first down. There it goes. Oh,
out too far for Brown again.
Let him by a little too much, and so the punting team comes on.
So Conant able to pick up 1 first down, but now has to punt it away.
Barrington has a pretty physical team, and as the game wears on, that might be a factor. They certainly seemed to take over the last 3 quarters of the Frem game last week.
Ball bounces, grabbed by number 27, who jukes back 5 yards, and then
this is quite a run back after
past
slow
the 35.
Start.
Bronco return for about 27.
So Terry McGovern on that punt return, but an illegal use of the hands penalty will move the ball back for Barrington. And that's moving them way back to the 10-yard line.
Now they're back where they have less room to operate, and if there's a turnover, it's tantamount to a field goal or a touchdown for the Conant Cougars here.
So that penalty hurt. 5:19 left in the first period. Barrington trailing by 4, 7-3.
Here's
swing pass.
Kubiak.
Oh, dropped. Number 24, Dylan Bingham. Maybe took his eyes off that and tried to run before he had the ball. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Barrington going with three wideouts. And
pass out to complete to number 2. That's Matt Moran, taken down about the 25. That's a first down for Barrington. Gives them a lot more room to operate.
Kubiak only 3 interceptions this season, so that's so far an average of 1 every other game.
Another handoff up the middle. Not a whole lot there, maybe a 2-yard pickup.
Bronco ball carrier was 25,
Dylan Abel on that carry. Comes to the side, catches breath.
Fremd in a 3-4-4 defense. They've got
Conant?
Or excuse me, Conant in the 3-4-4 defense. They've got LaBarbera, Hickman, and Hanethos in the defensive line.
Nate King picks up 1 yard up the middle. Barrington having more luck when they try to run wide. Haven't had anything much up the middle tonight. Long pass. Oh, led him by about 3 yards too many.
The coverage on these long passes tonight has been very good by both defenses. Every time we see a long ball thrown, there's a defender about a half a yard behind the receiver. So they're not getting any separation on these plays. And that brings up a punting situation for the Barrington Broncos.
4:01 left. There's the kick. Coming down around
Fair catch. Called.
at the 38-yard line.
There is a flag on the play.
But there's a flag down. Looks like maybe roughing the kicker. We'll see if it's a major or a minor.
Usually winds up being a.
Oh, and they're declining it. So Conant will take over at the 38.
After the 38.
Must have been running into the kicker rather than roughing the kicker. Wouldn't have been a first down, so the punt stands. Getting the ball with 3:54 left in the first period, leading by 4 points, 7-3. Conant with 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Pass complete out to number 15, Brown. He's out close to a first down. See where they mark it.
Nice quick release on that play by Medalski. And good velocity on the ball, and those two things contribute to the low interception percentage.
Conant short by about half a yard. Very close. That was number 44, Elias Gardner. Looks like he just picked it up. Yep, they're moving the chains.
Gardner has come on as a running back and had a big game against Palatine 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, and so he's seeing more action in that capacity.
Oh, pass it. Mike Koss in the hands. Don't think he was quite ready for it when it got there. So 2nd and 10. Very nicely thrown pass.
It's got good velocity, and it's a tight spiral, and throws with real authority.
So handoff to Elias Gardner on the draw play. Looks like he's going to pick up about 5 yards.
Frem needs one more win to be playoff eligible again. They've been in the playoffs, I believe, 3 straight years, and they did pretty well in the playoffs last year.
Looks like most of the MSL West will end up in the playoffs this year. Hoffman Estates looks like they're not going to make it, but everybody else looking pretty good. Medalski running for his life, picked up a yard or 2. So it's going to be 4th and 2. Medalski not able to pick up the first down. Just under 2 minutes left, and Conant's going to have to punt. Mike Koss on to do the honors. Punt is up, coming down around the 12-yard line. Oh, the return man number 1. Scotty Miller looked like he was going to be able to get away, but he trips and falls. So Barrington starting at their own 12-yard line.
Yep. Last year, Conant got in the playoffs and beat New Trier 14-0 in the first round, and then lost, but with respectability, to a tough Maine South team in the second round. Stayed with pretty well with Maine South. They're looking to get back, and right now they're playing some pretty good football here tonight and have a 7-3 lead.
Pass complete to Scotty Miller out in the left flat, picked up about 5 yards.
Number 1, Scotty Miller. 28. Palmer's ran the stop there. 2nd and 5.
That was Scotty Miller on that last catch that has such a high average catch yardage, 29 yards.
Kubiak on the keeper, goes off the left side, able to pick up the first down and move the chains. Had just enough there. So 1st and 10 at the 23. 45 seconds left in the first quarter.
Kubiak continues to run the ball a bit here, which apparently had not been utilized as a play much in the earlier games for Barrington.
Handoff up the middle, that's Nate King. Picked up about 2 yards on the play. King just kind of disappears when he hits that line. It's hard to pick him out. And only 5'5".
Here's Kubiak looking.
Looked like he's trying to set up sort of a center screen there.
That's
number
Cowdrey, I believe.
Yep, Brian Cowdrey, number 88.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the track in the north end zone.
And that's the end of the first quarter, and that touchdown off of the fumble recovery deep in Barrington territory prevails for the first quarter at least, a 7-0 lead for Conant. But as I said a little earlier in the game, Barrington has had a tendency of starting slow and then gaining momentum as the game goes on, and they've been behind in I think all but one of their games this year. And they came in tonight with a 5-1 record.
Hoffman Estates trailing Schaumburg 14-0. The score just flashed up here on the Barrington scoreboard. Schaumburg probably the class of the league. They've got a lot of team speed on both sides of the ball.
Speed and a real good offensive line to go along with it. And it's quite a combination. No one has stopped their running game all year long. They've been over 300 yards per game rushing every game this season, and over 400 in 2 or 3 games.
And they tried more passing last week than we'd seen. Oh, there was kind of a wounded duck in the direction of Scotty Miller. Not able to catch up with it.
Couldn't quite haul it in. He got a couple of fingers on it, but couldn't make the catch. So brings up 4th down, and Barrington will have to punt it away.
So Colin Castagnon. There's the punt coming down at the 36. And out to close to the 50-yard line, looks like about 49.
Was able to find a little running room there and sets Conant up in pretty good field position here at almost the 50-yard line.
Kevin Kofer on that return.
Conant this time just has 3 receivers wide. They've got Mike Kos in helping out with the blocking.
Throwing deep. Receiver almost turned into a defensive back there. Number 7, Jeremy Allback.
Maybe trying to bolster the protection for Medalski. He's evidently had a number of sacks this year. He came into the game with negative rushing yardage, which is indicative of taking some losses.
And that was D'Angelo McBride who was the intended receiver on that one.
Now they go back to spreading four men wide. Kos is among a trio of receivers out to the right. Here's Medalski looking. Just a little bit behind his receiver there, probably. Receiver was pretty well covered, though.
And there's a flag on the play.
So far, we've seen a couple of well-drilled pass defenses here. We've got 2 accurate passers competing here tonight, and Medalski and Kubiak, and they don't have targets that are getting any real separation. Both pass defenses have been rather tenacious tonight, to this point in the game at least.
So Barrington accepting the penalty. That moves him back 13 yards.
After the walk-off, it's 3rd and 24.
3rd and 24. Medalski complete out to number 18, Dante Mursky. Back to about the original line of scrimmage.
It's a nice chunk of yardage back. So that brings up 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10 from the midfield stripe.
So Conant going to need to do about the same thing here if they're going to move the chains. Marsky 6 foot, 170. Medalski looking left, scrambling. Fires too far for Marsky.
A little too high and far, trying to keep it away from the defender, which he did, but wound up being out of the reach of his intended receiver.
So Mike Koss on to punt. 10:44 left in the first half.
Back for the punt for Barrington, we have thought I saw 27 out there.
27 and number 1, Miller.
Miller.
Oh, and it splits the return man.
Bouncing around and touched by Barrington, and Conant has the football. Another real major mistake here. We started with a poor handoff early in the game that resulted in a fumble and ultimately a touchdown deep in Barrington territory, and now this is at the 20-yard line.
The 2 Barrington receivers looking at each other. Who's going to take it? You going to take it? No, you take it. And then had the ball bounce off of one of them. Recovered by Conant. Medalski looking left. Fires deep, has a man open, 21.
Just slightly overthrew him.
Kyle O'Connor just not able to catch up with it.
And again, the Barrington defense was pretty close by, so not making it easy on Medalski here tonight. This defense is staying very close to his receivers.
Fakes the handoff, and he's going to be sacked.
Here's a big sack. This is 10 yards or so. That's a real
31.
About 11 yards or so.
Big player for the Browns.
So Castagna on that sack. 3rd and 21. So Conant outside of field goal range here.
His stats on the year suggest that he's taken a net of about 20 yards and losses on the ground per game.
Long pass, well covered, double covered. D'Angelo McBride, the intended receiver. No chance on that one. So Conant probably going for it here.
It brings up 4th down. It's right at this point where most high school teams usually elect to go for it, but this is 4th and 21, so maybe it looks like they're going to go for it.
Kind of that point where you don't pick up very much on a punt. Oh, intercepted. Number 40 for Barrington. That's a big mistake.
That's a tremendous,
Jake Good on the interception.
costly interception. He hasn't thrown. That's only number 3 interception of the year for Modolski, but that one hurt. And Barrington now, that sets the Barrington Broncos up in good field position at about the 44 or so of Conant.
9:36 left.
Interception again there to Jake Clover. 1st and 10 Browns from the 44.
So Kubiak
Hands it off to number 1, Scotty
Miller, and he's
out close to a 1st down.
turns the corner with that blazing speed and gets all the way down to about the 35-yard line, just inside the 35.
Looks like he's short by inches.
He's second in about a foot.
Rolling to his left.
Kubiak.
Oh, Miller hit him right in the hands and he couldn't hang on.
Hold on. Yeah.
3rd down.
Doesn't get much better than that. So probably thinking 3rd and inches should be fairly easy. We'll just pick it up on this time. Still able in the backfield. Kubiak looking to the sideline. Hands it off. Kubiak's got the yardage and more. Picks up close to 5.
Number
1st down, Dylan Abel.
25, Dylan Abel. He had a big day against Fremd on Saturday, and he bangs in there and gets about 2-3 yards and picks up the 1st down. So Barrington is on the move now with a chance to take the lead here. They're a fresh set of downs at the 29.
Pitch out to Abel again, but nothing there. Maybe lost a half a yard.
Good pursuit by the Conant defense, and he's brought down for a small loss.
2nd and 11 from the 30.
Conant had a real good first half against Schaumburg last week, held him to 6 points.
Takes a handoff to King, swings it out to number 4, Mike Carbonara.
Pass there is complete to Mike Carbonara.
Looked like he picked up about 3 yards, so 3rd and 8.
Barrington using the spread. They have 5 receivers spread this time. An empty backfield there with just Kubiak looking to receive these.
And timeout Barrington.
The hike from center. The only surprise was the interception thrown by Medalski. That's only the 3rd one for the whole season, and it's a costly one that set Barrington up in the current drive here.
And that was a lollipop right to Jake Kuhn.
Here's a handoff to, I believe that was Moran coming around on the end around.
Able to pick up the first down. Ball at the 19-yard line. So Barrington with just over 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Looks like they're in good position for another score.
Kubiak keeps it after faking, and he's got running room. He's all the way down to the 4-yard line.
14-yard gain for Michael. First down, Barrington. First and goal at the 5.
So first and goal.
Or is that, do we have a new quarterback right now?
I think that was Carbonara.
Carbonara in at quarterback, and he ran the keeper that time. They got Abel in the backfield with him. Carbonara has primarily been a wide receiver. Of course, as we know today, wide receivers do a lot of running on end arounds. Here's Abel, bangs into the middle, gets a little bit of yardage, a couple of yards maybe.
I think he's down at about the 2-yard line.
So Barrington banging on the door here at a little over 6 minutes to go in the half.
And up again up the middle, and he's in for a touchdown.
Barrington line blocking nicely on the last couple of plays.
So Dillon was able on that run. Gives Barrington the lead 9-7, pending the extra point. So number 47, Chase Lesniak. And it's good. So Barrington jumps out ahead by 3, 10-7. Their first lead of the evening. That's set up by the interception by Jake Kuhn.
Few key runs on that series, and Barrington does have the lead 10-7. And after that very poor start, where they found themselves down with less than a minute gone in the football game.
Now time for the Conant offense to get something going here.
Since that time, it's been 10-0 Barrington. Last Saturday it was 14-0 Fremd, and then Barrington put on a 35-0 roll.
So Lesniak getting ready to kick it off. The kick is up. It's going to be short. It hits about the 14. Would have gone out of bounds, but Scotty Miller picks it up, cuts it back. Good return out to about the 31, 32-yard line. Could have let that go out of bounds and they'd have had it at the 35, but they get it at the 32, about the same.
That was Kofer returning the kick. He's a 5'10", 150-pound defensive back, wide receiver.
Handoff up the middle, nothing there. Looks like he lost about a yard.
The Barrington defense, and I keep going back to the game I saw Saturday, the whole team just played a lot better from the first quarter on, but they only allowed Frem to have 26 yards rushing the last 3 quarters. So the defense just really stiffened.
Quarterback keeper going nowhere. Looks like he lost about another half yard there.
Saw a lot of that on Saturday. That brings up third and fairly long, 3rd and 12. So there's approaching 100% chance that we'll see a pass from Medulski here.
Conant just not able to get anything going offensively.
Going to spread out 3 receivers to the left.
Little swing pass, taken about the 30. He's going to be dropped short about the 40.
Yeah, he had to make it out to about the 42 to pick up a first down, so that'll bring up 4th and about 2.
Picked up 10, but it wasn't enough.
4th down from the 40. Conant in punt formation. Deep safety for Barrington is number 1, Scotty Miller.
So Barrington will get the ball back with enough time with plenty of time to do something. It'll be over 4 minutes of playing time.
Oh, short punt off the side of his foot.
Up in the air and off to the right, and it's
good for about 15 yards maybe, depending on now, about 10 yards. Wow, that was just a terrible punt.
That really hurt. So Barrington takes over with 4:26 left, and they've got great field position at the Conant 49-yard line. And they've got some momentum going in this game as well. So
4:26, enough time to move it 49 yards. Need a little better than a yard a second here.
Last series we saw, well, Kubiak is back in at quarterback right now. He's looking downfield. He's got Moran. Moran makes the catch, spins out of a tackle, and gets down to about the 27-yard line.
Takes about another 10 yards, run after the catch on that. Able to just spin out of the hands of his tackler there.
First down at the 28.
Here's Scotty Miller, and he is going to go for a touchdown. Almost for certain. No, he's pushed out at about the 1-foot line. So who is that pushed him out? That's a pretty good move against a guy as fast as Miller.
27-yard gain.
A decent recovery, but it's probably not going to make too much difference when you have a first down at the 1-foot line. It's not a big challenge to make a touchdown.
Nope.
Kubiak is in. He's got a full house there with 3 running backs by him. Here's the hike, and looks like I think Appel got the ball. Appel got the ball there and took it into the end zone. That Barrington line is starting to block pretty effectively.
16-7.
So Barrington pulling away here, 16-7.
Some of those linemen, Anzalone, Means, Serrano, Morrison, Bornhofen. Oh, here's a botched extra point attempt. The kicker, the holder, throws it in the end zone, and they get 2 points. Gets 2 points out of that.
Wow.
Now you have to worry about a flag if you're Barrington. Sometimes there's...
2 points, I should say.
Sometimes on those plays, quite often, you'll have a lineman go downfield and you'll get a flag for receiver downfield. But that didn't happen. So 2 points on the board. We now have an 18-7 game after Barrington fell behind 7-0 in the first minute. It's been 18-0. I feel like these teams are reading the same script as last Saturday, where Barrington just gets on a roll after an some slippage in the early going, and then rattles off a lot of points. But that's been their pattern.
And it seems to be holding true here tonight. Barrington really dominating Conant here in this first half. Conant with the early turnover, able to get 7 points out of it. And now a little pooch kick coming. Comes down at the 17-yard line. There's a flag. Brought down about the 31-yard line.
Flag on that play. The Barrington kickoff is fielded by Coleman Stockton.
Well, Barrington is the only team to outgain Schaumburg this year. Although they lost 33-21. They had some red zone problems, and also they went for it on 4th and less than 1, or about 1, at their own 12-yard line and didn't make it early in the game, and Schaumburg made a touchdown on that. So
looks like a holding penalty against Conant, setting him back another 10 yards.
So with 4 minutes to go, Conant would like to get a touchdown here and tighten things up here before the half.
Gonna have to get that passing game working. There's a run.
Barrington
picked up about 5. Elias Gardner on the carry.
Barrington did not have anybody blitzing that time. They're content to get the rush out of their front 3 and cover these receivers. They're trying to clog the lanes with linebackers right now, so that short pass opportunity is not as easy for Medalski to complete.
Gardner again up the middle, out close to the first down, maybe just a little short. First down, just enough for it. That'll move the chains. So 3:20 left. Throws it out, complete to number 18. Able to spin out of the hands of his tackler, but then falls down, Dante Marski. So he picked up about 5 yards on that play.
5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 at the 37.
2nd and 5, clock running with 2:50. Hand off to Gardner. Tries the right side. Maybe out. Close to a first down. Looks like he's going to be just short. About a yard short.
And on the stop there for Barrington, it's 3rd and 1 from the 41.
So Conant calls a timeout. Want to get it right here with 2:44 left. So they're going to talk it over. Conant desperately needing to get a drive going here to keep themselves in this one.
Both of these teams are highly probable for the playoffs this year, with Conant already at 4 wins. Got a couple more games to go after this one. You have to get to 5 to be eligible. 6, you're guaranteed to be in the play. 5, you've got to have enough points under the point system, which is the point system basically is the grand total of wins of your opponents for the year. And so the way to avoid being outpointed is to get to 6 wins. Here comes Conant. 3rd and 1.
1 wide to each side, full house backfield.
Try to punch it through here. Gives
it to the up man.
And that looks like he probably got it from here.
Yep. 25, Mike Koss picks up the first down, moves the chains. So first down on the Conant 43.
Koss moves around. He plays some running back, some wide out, some also plays a lot of defense, a fair amount of defense. So he's all over the field.
Medelski going to be sacked.
Medelski, yeah.
Loses 8 yards there. Dropped at the 35.
46, David Danhauer, 31, Kyle Castagna combined to sack Dan Medelski. Loss on that play.
Linebacker in there blitzing. That's the Castagna. Key player for Barrington, a big 6'4", 230-pound linebacker.
Little screen pass out to Brown, who's dropped after about a 2-yard gain.
Bryson Brown, Jake Cool, Dan Hanley, number 5.
Time is rolling off that clock. We're down to about 1.5 minutes, but the clock's still running.
3rd down.
So 3rd down and about 7 or so.
About 16.
Or 16.
And that out in front of Brown, not able to catch up with that. Would have been a first down if they'd been able to complete it. But Conant going to have to kick it away here with 1:15 left. Just not able to sustain anything here. That penalty really put him in a hole.
Oh, only 1:15 left. It's enough time perhaps for a couple of long passes by Barrington.
High snap, pulled in, kick is away.
This time he gets a good kickoff, and it's
hits at the 30, rolls down to about
little bit of a bounce, not much. Barrington will put the ball in play from about the 25, 26-yard line with 1:04 remaining in the first half. So given the speed that they have on that team, I think they'll try a few nice long ones and see what they can do. You've got a guy like Scotty Miller averaging 29 yards a catch. So I think we're in for a couple of long passes here.
Kubiak looking to the sideline.
Kubiak looking especially at Miller. Here goes Miller blazing down the left side, and that's where it's going. And that's
he's
where
got
it lands. And he is in the end zone for a touchdown.
Wow. Beat Kevin Kofer on the coverage.
This is the kind of big play that Miller has been having all season long. This is not an accident. This happens just about every week.
24-7 Barrington extends the lead.
Barrington's putting on one of these streaks, 24 straight points in this game. Now they did 35 straight points last Saturday, as I mentioned a couple of times. That's quite spectacular. This is going for 25 right now. So this is 25 straight points since spotting the early lead. Since that point, the defense has been tough, and the offense has had some big plays. And
75 yards.
Here we are, 25-7 with 55 seconds to go in the half after starting about as inauspiciously as they could with a bobbled first snap from center and a fumble recovery by Conant.
Everything going Burlington's way since then. The botched extra point turns into 2 as they're able to complete a fairly long pass for 2 points. And that drive took 9 seconds. Amazing.
Kind of thing that can sometimes flatten a team out a little bit right near the end of the half. Conant was looking at a pretty good deficit as it was, and now they're 18 points behind. So that's a real good 3-score game. You've got to have 2 touchdowns, a field goal, and maybe a 2-point conversion just to conversion just to tie. You know, so
taken at the 15.
Little running room there. So Conant will get it with very little time, 49 seconds to work with.
Bryson Brown on the return.
They've got their speed. They've got Brown is, of course, a very fast receiver. He's their leading receiver on the year. And they may try to duplicate. It only took Barrington 9 seconds on that play, so 49 seconds is plenty if they can do something like that. But
that ball too high for McBride to pull in.
Still have to have time to get the deep pass off like that.
So down to 44 seconds. Three wides to the right, 1 to the left. Single back in the backfield. Handed off to the back. Number 5 able to make some people miss. Out across the 40, 15 rather. Sorry about that. Bryson Brown on the carry. So one of the best runs this evening for Conant. But only 35 seconds left here.
Here's Modolsky.
Complete to number 44, ought to get out of bounds.
All the way down to the 15-yard line.
44, Elias Gardner. So Conant getting something going, not a lot of time left, 24 seconds.
First and 10, Conant at the 15. 24 seconds for the half.
They've been able to do this in 20 seconds.
Quite a drive here going.
Swing pass.
Swings it out, and he's got some room. He's going.
He's in, I think. He dives in.
Touchdown, Conant. So here in the last little over a minute, we've got both teams scoring.
Palmer Graham on the carry, number 28. He's a 5'8", 155-pound sophomore. So that pulls Conant a little bit closer, 25-13.
15-yard touchdown pass there.
So are they going for 1 or going for 2?
Area scores on the LED screen.
Trailing by 12 points.
It has the look of a 2-point play here, the way they're talking over there. Not an awful lot to talk about when you're going for a standard conversion.
17 seconds left to go. So Conant able to make it a 2-score deficit.
Quite an impressive drive.
It was. They hadn't been able to do anything all game until that last drive, and then they marched right down the field in about 30 seconds.
And they are going for the 2 points. Well, they've got a good 2-point offense with the accuracy of Medelsky. And well, here we
off
go.
to Garner, and there's a flag. He's in, but it looks like a hold, and it is. So that'll move it back. So now they've got to go 15 yards. Looks like they may be kicking it. Yep, Drew Wenzel's on and off. Might be a little farther than Drew's able to kick it. Drew, the 5'4", 430-pound senior lady kicker.
32-yard field goal attempt coming up.
So JT Levitt going to try this extra point field goal attempt. Be a 32-yarder. Oh, and it's blocked.
Oh,
you can't run it back.
just an extra point.
So 31, Colin Castagna blocks that. So 17 seconds left. The score remains 25-13. But Conant able to claw a little closer there. And they'll kick it off here. Then they're going to have to play some defense because the last Barrington drive took 9 seconds.
Yeah, they'll just get out there and try to heave it down to Miller, or one of the Moran is very fast as well. They've got Scotty Miller back to receive this kick, and Moran, the two of them.
The 1-2 punch for Barrington.
So a lot of scoring right at the end, and interestingly enough, Conant does its scoring in the first minute and the last minute of the first half. In between, they didn't have too much going on as far as scoring points.
No, they didn't. So a little pooch kick.
Off to
taken
the
at the
side.
43.
That was designed to avoid Miller and Moran.
That sets them up in very good field position. The ball at the Barrington 37. 17 seconds.
Barrington out in front, 25-13.
So 3 wides out to the right, 1 to the left. Single back in the backfield.
Here's Kubiak.
Oh,
Moran couldn't hold on to that one.
hit him right in the hands.
Second down.
12 seconds with the clock stopped.
So Kubiak hands it off up the middle. For 25, Dylan Abel picks up a couple
Down to
yards.
3, 2, 1. So that's the first half.
That's the end of the half.
Well, Conant with a a very quick, a very well-executed drive right at the end of the half there to tighten things up to 25-13. After it was looking like the game was getting away from them, they reasserted themselves in the game and put a touchdown on the boards. They weren't able to make the conversion because of the penalty, put them so far back, but still they got 6 points on the board, and it's now a 12-point game instead of an 18-point game at halftime. 25-13, Barrington out in front.
Well, hopefully Conant will be able to do that again some in this second half. And we'll see what happens when we come back after halftime.
Next up, a performance tonight from our varsity Brown Cats, directed again this year by Lauren Kenny. With the girls here, chance to get set. All right, girls, music's ready. Here we go.
Kubiak has taken a lot of sacks this year. You know, that's better to take a sack than throw an interception. You know,
yeah.
but a sack is still a problem. It's not as big a problem as an interception. But Gardner leads with 28 yards. Abel leads with 29 yards. So the passing is dominant here. You know, it's basically the two quarterbacks squaring off, and I think the Barrington defense is playing a bit better than the Conant defense.
Kick is up. It's coming down about the 13. That's Brown with it. Taken down from behind at about the 30-yard line. There's a flag on the play. So about a 15-yard run back, but a holding penalty is going to set him back.
We just got the halftime statistics, and Barrington racked up a total of 242 yards in the first half to 134 for Conant. In passing, it was 146 to 96 in favor of Barrington. In rushing, it was 96 to 38. Now, that 38, they would have had 56 yards, but for 18 yards in sacks, Conant would have.
And it seemed like there was more than that, so
this is a game where the statistics roughly reflect the score. Barrington has a fair-sized lead on the scoreboard and a significant lead in statistics.
So starting from the first 15, pass complete, out close to the 25. So Marski able to pull that one in, picks up 9 yards.
Well, the last time we saw Conant on the field, they moved right down on offense, they moved right down the field and scored a touchdown to make it
Gardner's
A lot closer at halftime.
scoots ahead for 3 yards and a first down.
Psychologically, it had to be a big lift for the team. They had been down 25-7 and hadn't scored for a long time, and
Hadn't done anything for a long time.
put a drive together, put 6 points on the board. They weren't able to convert, but
Gardner up the middle, able to come out of a pile.
some running there.
Picked up about 15 yards on that carry. Out to the 43-yard line, it looks like.
He's their leading ball carrier tonight, and of late he's been the leading rusher for Conant the last few games.
So Conant able to get something going here early.
Spread formation there. Podolski gives it to Gardner again, and
Looks like he picked up about 8 yards. We'll see where they mark it.
well, 18 yards and sacks the first half, and
A pickup of 7 yards. Makes it 2nd and 3.
Barrington defense there looks like they're content to
Pickup.
rush 3 men.
Picked up the blitz. Way overthrown. Podolski kind of passing for his life there. Had a couple Barrington defenders around him. Roughing the passer on Barrington. So that'll give him a first down. So Barrington helping out the Conant offense here. Gives him big 15-yarder there, down to the 35-yard line.
15-yard walk-off after that penalty against Barrington. 1st and 10, Conant at the Broncos 35.
Hand off to Gardner. Looks like he picked up 4 or 5 yards.
He's a guy that likes to run north and south. He, a lot of backs in that situation would have been fleeing for the sideline, but he just turned right into the traffic, ran right up the gut, and picked up a few yards.
Gardner again, going off the left side. Picked up 2 or 3 on that. We'll see where they spot it. The 28-yard line, so about 3rd and 3. Again up the middle to Gardner. He's got the first down. About the 23.
Doing some good, strong running here. And another impressive drive in the making here.
And a lot of this on the ground.
Which is
Gardner again off the left side. Turns it up close to 8 yards.
out of their usual pattern for the year. They did have one game where they ran quite successfully, and that was against Palatine about 2 weeks ago.
So they're giving them 9 on that, so 2nd and 1. Barrington wants to call a timeout. They're not liking what they're seeing here, so they're going to try to reorganize the defense, see if they can get them to stop here before they run it in for the score.
The Broncos are on the road at Palatine. In 2 weeks, we finished the regular season here with a home game and senior night against Hawkins.
Well, they're probably sensitive to the passing of Medalski, and the linebackers are dropping off, and the linebackers are looking to cover people to help out on pass defense, and this run game has opened up here. So
at the half, the other 2 games, Schaumburg leading Hoffman Estates 20-0, and Palatine leading from 20-14. And we will be at From next week, where the Vikings will host the Schaumburg Saxons. Fromd will have a hard time trying to match the speed of Schomburg.
And players in. Second and 1.
So Conant back to the line. Looks to the sidelines. Gardner up the middle, through, and oh, brought down about the 2-yard line. Big hole there at the line of scrimmage. Gardner with a big pickup.
Extremely impressive drive on the ground, mostly on the ground here by Conant, with Gardner. No, he's not caught. He breaks away and maybe picks up a little bit.
Could have been stopped for a 5 or 6 yard loss, but he's able to struggle back up close to the original line of scrimmage. That mostly on determination.
Second goal from the 2.
So no gain, no loss on that play. Hands it again to Gardner up the middle, going nowhere. So the Barrington defense stiffening here at their goal line. Be 3rd and 2.
46, David Danhauer, no gain there.
See if
3rd down.
Conant decides maybe to pass it.
Staying with a pretty much of a full house backfield here, and Gardner gets it again, and he's
going to be dropped for a loss. About the 10-yard line, a loss of 8.
Brings up 4th down and
4th and goal from the 10.
So they've got a decision to make here. They could add 3 and get to a 9-point differential here.
Which doesn't do a whole lot for you.
So they're going to go. Podolsky looking in the corner.
Knocked away at the last minute.
Away by Scotty Miller, yeah.
One guarding one. D'Angelo McBride looked like he might be open for about a half second there, and Scotty Miller says, "Oh, no, you don't."
So Barrington able to survive that drive and get out of that with no points on the board for Fromd, or for Conant, I should say.
So Barrington with 90 yards to go, but that's got to be a real boost for the Broncos, able to stop the Conant Cougars. Just under 8 minutes to go. Swing pass out to Miller.
Incidentally, that drive probably came. Well, no, it wouldn't have evened up the yardage. It still Conant had a ways to go, so they'd be still trailing Barrington in that department quite a way.
Christian Taku just able to hang on to the jersey and bring Miller down. But enough for the 1st down out at the 20-yard line. Handoff up the middle.
Kubiak tries to keep it and
goes nowhere.
He's met right at the line of scrimmage.
55. Blake Hito.
So both the tailback and the quarterback
2nd down.
would have been tackled for no gain.
There's Kubiak looking.
Got number 88.
Tight end.
And that's a 1st down. Number 88, Ryan Caudry, moves the chains for the Broncos. So able to connect for 10 when they needed the 10.
12 yards on that game. 1st and 10 Barrington.
Actually picked up 12 on that. Handoff up the middle. Did the ball come out? Conant's saying that it did.
Thinking that it came out. Maybe it came out after he hit the ground.
Officials don't think so.
The officials are saying that Barrington retains possession.
So giving him a 1-yard pickup.
So 2nd and 9. 4 receivers wide, 2 each way. Kubiak gets the completion. It's short of a first down, but it looks like it picked up about 8 yards.
Matt Moran with the completion at the 40-yard line. So 3rd and 2 coming up here.
Gain of 8. It's 3rd and 2. Number 40.
Conant rushing 3.
It's their standard defense, the 3-4-4 that they run. And here's Kubiak, complete for the first down to Miller, I believe.
Out to the 49-yard line.
Got rid of that ball, or Moran, but was the receiver on that one. Got rid of it nice and quick and threw a very high velocity pass and picks up the first down. Barrington now on the move.
First and 10 Barrington from the corner 5.5 minutes left here in the 3rd.
They've got a bunch. They've got 4 receivers left this time. And that's where Kubiak looks. He's got Miller.
And he slips down.
There's a lot of defenders there. There's a flag down on the play.
Number 1, Scotty Miller. White paws in on that stop.
They lost 2 or 3 on that play. Well defensed by Conant. So the hold, yep.
The idea was to try to get a lot of blockers in front of Miller. Apparently one of those blockers decided he needed to hold on to his guy. So that'll push Barrington pretty far back here. Let's see there. They will be
the 38-yard line.
Back at the 38. Puts them at 1st and 22. So Kubiak looking downfield now.
Pulls it down.
Pulls it down and scampers for a few yards, about 5 yards off to the left here.
Maybe 3 yards. They mark it down at the 40. So it'll be 2nd and 20.
Both teams showing similar looks on offense. It's a spread offense for both of these teams.
Kubiak a little
overwhelmingly
out in front of Dylan Bingham, not able to catch up to that pass. So 3rd and 20 coming up here.
They both play a 3-4 defense. A 3-4-4 defense.
Student body right, that 4-receiver cluster. Connects to Matt Moran, back out to about the original line of scrimmage, but they're going to be well short of a first down. Looks like about 4th and 11.
So the punting team will be on the field shortly. It's at Barrington with the ball right around the 50.
4th and 10, they get to the 49-yard line. And Barrington going to go for it.
I think Kubiak is going to punt it. Yeah, there he goes.
Quick kick by Kubiak. Hits at the 22 and rolls forward.
Rolls down
to the 20.
Right to the 20. So 30 yards with no return. That works. Conant will have to start over again. They had a nice drive last time, but it fizzled out right down near the end zone.
At the 2-yard line, if memory serves. Talk about a bend but don't break defense.
Yeah.
First and 10, Conant.
Can't bend any farther than that.
Podolsky rifles it away, but it's a little too hot to handle for 15.
Conant pass ball incomplete.
Bryson Brown not able to pull that one in.
Brown.
Brown 5'6", 155-pound senior. Had a couple of those off the hands. So handoff up the middle. Pickup of about 4 yards, it looks like.
Is that Gardner again?
I believe that was Gardner.
Was 44, Elias Gardner. Barrington's Jacob Boulanger. Van Hanley on the stop for Barrington.
So 3rd and 6.
Barrington is in a 4-man line now, putting a little more rush on. One guy breaks through. That's
Gets it out to D'Angelo McBride. That'll be good enough for the first down. Out of the 36.
got it out, and in spite of the rush, that was Colin Castagna that broke through. He was apparently in a down lineman stance that time. That appears to be what he's doing. He's typically a linebacker, but they're playing him more as a defensive end right now.
Gardner able to get out of the backfield, picks up 3 or 4 yards.
Trying to get a little more pressure on Podolsky by having Castagna rushing from a down lineman position. There they go, the 4-man line again.
Again to Gardner, but he's not going very far this time. Picks up maybe 2 yards up the middle. So 3rd and 3 coming up here.
3rd and 3 from the 44.
Swing pass out to Brown, and again drops it.
Dropped.
He's had 3 or 4 hit him in the hands. It just hasn't been able to pull it.
That brings up 4th down, a punting situation, and so suddenly the 3rd quarter is starting to drift away from us here a little bit. It's down to 2:43 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Barrington holding on to a 12-point lead and about to get the football again where they can potentially add to that with a drive.
So Mike Koss set to kick it away.
Punt formation. Mike Koss set the punt for it.
Kick is up, it's coming down around the 25, takes a Conant good bounce, and it's rolling inside the 10 out at about the 8-yard line. Looks like they're marking it about the 9.
Some of the Barrington players, Scotty Miller and others, avoided touching that one. It was spinning around a little bit and a little hot to handle. Didn't want to have another touching of a punt and resulting in a Conant possession deep in their territory. But the end result of this is that they wind up with pretty bad field position. They do have the football, but they're on their own, appears to be about the 9-yard line.
Hands it off to the motion man.
Scotty Miller in motion this time. And
picks up about 5 yards.
Bronco ball player was number 1, Scotty Miller. Odell Andrews, the initial contact for Conant. Gain of 6 makes it 2nd and 4.
Complete out to number 4. That's Mike Carbonara. Good enough for the first down.
Moves the chains, yeah. Gives them a little more work to, a little more room to work with, and a fresh set of downs with 1:58 remaining in the third quarter. Holding on to a 12-point lead. They've got the football. They'd like to march down the field and use up some time and put some points on the
motion
board.
man,
There's
number
Moran.
2, Moran.
And he's got lots of running room. He's all the way out to the 34-yard line.
Picked up about 14 on that. So Barrington getting something going here.
Barrington with now there's no running back, 3 receivers right and two left on first down.
Oh, there's
Kubiak was going to try to run the quarterback draw up the middle there, and it just
number
didn't work out.
5, Blake Henetho comes blowing in from his...
He's a defensive end, I believe.
Yeah.
One of the 3 linemen in their setup, and he saw that and put Kubiak away for a loss.
About a 5-yard loss on that.
Now with a running back, and there's a man in motion. That's Miller. He throws it too hard, and Miller doesn't have a play on that one, so that's
Jeremy Albach coming in right to his face there. Threw it away quickly. 50 seconds left.
Third quarter disappearing here rapidly. Third down and long. Kubiak can be expected to go pretty deep with this one. No. Tries to throw under this. I don't know if that play would have had a chance.
D'Angelo McBride.
Somebody stayed home there, and they put that one out. That didn't go anyplace.
McBride on the tackle. They had a corner blitz coming in. Didn't quite get there, but McBride able to drop the receiver after a short gain. So 4th and 12, and Barrington's going to have to punt. Colin Castagnan.
Barrington in punt formation. Colin Castagnan set the punt for Barrington.
Little hold there by Barrington. Number 3 muffs it, picks it up, runs left, and he's going to get dropped after just a couple yards. That was Kevin Kofer who mishandled the punt, but was able to get it back, and he's limping toward the sideline there. But that's the end of the third quarter. The score standing at 25-13, Barrington leading.
Well, Conant almost made this a pretty tight ball game there with their drive. They just fell short.
2 yards short.
He's been effective. They just didn't quite make it on their drive. But it has been working. They're still only 12 points down, so this ball game is not decided by any means.
So the Barrington fans jumping around. Looks like they're equivalent of the 7th inning stretch. Coming into the 4th quarter.
It's quite a ballpark here. This must be the biggest capacity of any mid-suburban West stadium.
I would say that's probably true.
I think this setup here, this is about 8 or 9 years old now.
Definitely the largest press box. Which we appreciate.
And it's a very modern design with windows with a lot of glass and not so much framing. So the visibility is good.
Pass off the hands of Brown again. A little too far out in front of him.
Well, here goes Gardner again. He's hard to bring down. Every time he runs, there seems to be a pile up of 6 or 7 players.
He stopped for a little gain and picks up 3. Most of that on determination, it seems. Moving that pile.
3rd and 7.
So 3rd down, 7 yards here. Medalski back, quarterback draw.
Rare run by Medalski, picks up the 1st down.
Up to the 40.
Doesn't do much running.
Quarterback Dan Medalski. Matt Robinson, the stop for Barrington. It's a 1st down though for the Cougars.
Guess he wanted to make up for some of that sack yardage.
Lost his shoe on that run. Tying his shoes out on the field now. So
Conant with a new set of downs. 2 wides to the left, 1 to the right. Single back in the backfield.
Barrington again working with a 4-man line, trying to put more pressure.
Up the middle to
Gardner again.
Still picks up about 5 yards.
Gardner
able to drag a couple men with him.
Gardner's got some size. He's 6 foot tall, 196 pounds. Listed as a wide receiver and defensive back.
Up the middle. Gardner comes out of the pile, squirts ahead for about 15 yards.
Down to the 42 of Barrington, and
28 J.P. Brooks.
he's a little bit reminiscent at his best of Tim Matskow, who was quite a player for Conant over the last few years, and I understand is now at Ball State.
Fakes the handoff, puts it up long. Has number 18 open, and he's got it for the touchdown.
A spectacular catch out there. He spun around, had to turn around and get positioned backwards and stay on his feet long enough to catch that ball.
He did a full 360 looking for that.
Just like that, we've got a 25-19 game, and the kicking team is coming on the field to make this a 25-20 game. On the long pass, Medalski in the end, came down at about the 2-yard line, and then the receiver took it the rest of the way to the end zone.
Drew Wenzel on for the extra point. The young lady drills it through.
What is her number again?
She's number 14.
14.
5'4", 130-pound senior. The extra point specialist. So 10:08 remaining in the game. Conant's brought it to within 5.
As far as I can recall, I've seen a lot of football games over the last 40 years or so, but that's the first time I've seen a young lady on the field.
Conant had a young lady a number of years ago. she had been a soccer player, and the boy who was kicking got injured, so she took over the duties and did a fair job. Went on, as I recall, to the U.S. Ladies Olympic Soccer team. Can't remember her name. So Conant does have a history.
This is not the first one.
No.
No. So now we've got a
kick.
That was
Caught at the 48-yard line.
If that was an attempt for an onside kick, or they
Yes,
intended to kick it a little farther, maybe? I don't know.
David Danauer gets that ball for Barrington, and Barrington is going to take over in wonderful field position out near midfield with 10:06 left.
This game down to a 5-point ball game. Barrington led 25-7 at one point.
So a handoff up the middle. Number 25, Dylan Abel, spins, picks up a few yards. Actually, looks like he picked up about 4 yards there.
Matt Hill went on the stop for Conant. Gain of 6. A gain of 4, excuse me. 2nd and 6 from the 48.
So again, handoff up the middle to Abel, and he's able to break a tackle. He's into the secondary.
He's in, he's going, and he puts a move, and he will miss. Looks like he got into the corner of the end zone. He did get in the corner.
What a run
just like that.
Abel.
Yeah. Had a big run for a touchdown last Saturday as well, so he's really starting to show some running capabilities for the Barrington Broncos, and suddenly Barrington is back to a little more comfortable lead.
11 points, 31-20.
It's 11, and the kicker is on the field, ready to do the conversion kick.
And the kick is
appears to be good. It is good. So now we have a 32-20 ball game. We're back to a 12-point differential on that run by Abel. Quite a long.
Just when Conant was making it interesting.
Right around a 50-yard run, maybe a little over a 50-yard run. So he had, I believe, about a 75-yard run, as I recall, on Saturday against Friends. So he's having quite a couple of games back-to-back here. Barrington offensive line just had one starter back from last year, so some younger players, new players are doing well in that line. Anzalone was the returning center, but Meade, Serrano, Morrison, Bornhofer, Ingram, Singh, who have been in the offensive line tonight, are all new this year as far as playing a lot of football for Barrington. They played a little bit last year, part-time.
Barrington with the short kick, taken by one of the up men. That's number 18. Running side to side, not going anywhere.
Wasn't able to turn a corner or find a seam there, so he's brought down at about the 20, what is it, the 26-yard line or so. It looks like there's progress. Maybe about the 20, they're giving him about the 28.
Marsky ran 40 yards and didn't pick up any.
Now Magdalski looking deep again. And he's got
D'Angelo McBride.
D'Angelo McBride. McBride is a good target on those lines. He's a 6'3", 183-pound senior, so he can get up high and make those deep catches on those long balls. And Conant is in business here with a first down at the 35-yard line. Here goes Gartner, and he's got loads of running room to his right. He got outside the line there. The linebacker appears to have taken a receiver and ran downfield, and there was a big bubble there to run through, and it's another first down.
Oh, ball comes out.
Ball comes out. What?
Didn't look like he ever got that ball cleanly. Looked like the ball bounced off the shoulder pad.
Barrington is signaling that they have it. There's a pile up on the field.
And they do have it.
Barrington does have it. No, Barrington dodges a bullet, I guess, again. You know, that.
Yeah, Conant definitely shooting themselves in the foot there.
Conant turning it over on downs once deep and now losing it on a turnover, and they're down by 12. Well, there's potential 14 points right there.
8:37 left to go in the game.
Kubiak talking with his receivers here and set up at the 21-yard line.
Barrington calls a timeout. They're going to talk it over here.
So now we're down to 8:37 to go in the game, with Barrington holding on to a 12-point lead now. It's been a competitive game tonight with good quarterbacking and probably more running than we fully expected. These teams have mostly gotten here on some defense and passing, but tonight we've seen some running out of Gardner, and we've seen Abel do some impressive running as well.
So Schaumburg able to extend their lead over Hoffman by 35-7. Pass complete out to number 4 rather, Mike Carbonara.
The Schaumburg team has an opportunity, a potential to go unbeaten. They've got Frem next week, and I forget who they play in the final, but 2 more games, and there aren't that many Schaumburg teams that have gone unbeaten. There are 2 that I can think of, was 74, and I believe 99 went unbeaten during the regular season.
Carbonara pulls in the pass and then drops to his knees, loses a yard on that.
Conant defense had the screen covered very well that time. They're sticking with their 3-man line, and looks like it's either a 4-4 or maybe it's almost a 3-3-5.
So a handoff. They picked up 2 yards. Not a whole lot there. So it'll be 3rd and 9. 7:25 left. Conant really needs a stop here to get that ball back.
Yeah, it's still a two-score game, and so the clock starts to loom larger as time flows off of it. Here's Kubiak, and he's tripped up. He throws it. I think he's.
Oh, they're calling him down. Sacked at
calling him down. His knee apparently touched the ground out there, and that's a sack for a few yards of loss, and brings up a 4th down, 4th and very long, 4th and 18.
So that's what Conant needed.
We're down to 6.5 minutes and counting, clock running. 12-point differential. Conant ready to get the ball back and see if they can tighten this game up a little further.
A low punt taken at the 43.
And Brought out to about the 50, just about the 50.
3, Kevin Kofer on the return.
So with 6:11 remaining, Conant goes in action on about almost exactly midfield. It looks like it's sitting out there just about on the 50.
It is, the nose is right on the 50.
They're 12 points down with 6:11 to go in the game. Here comes Gardner again. He's around left end. He turns the corner and picks up about 4 or 5 yards.
Able to make a man miss right at the line of scrimmage as he got that corner. It picks up 5.
He's Gardner definitely doing a good job of running for Conant here tonight.
They marked that ball back a foot or a yard, so it's a 4-yard gain.
Everybody
6.
stops looking for. Here goes Gardner again.
Picked up about 3 on that, 3 or 4, so it'll be 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2 from the 42.
3rd and 2, the way Gardner's running, they'll probably give it to him. Here we go again. Whoops! This time he's Castagna, the big stopper for Barrington, 6'4", 230-pound linebacker, who I believe was playing in a down position that time. Got right in and tackles Gardner for a loss.
Conant going for it. They don't have time to punt it away.
And
so 4th and 6 with 5:15 remaining. Time ticking away as Conant stares at the sideline, waiting for the play to come in.
46-yard lines of Barrington. Here's Modalski looking downfield. He's got it appears to be caught out there at about the 30-yard line for a first down.
D'Angelo McBride picking up the yardage there.
Good velocity on that ball, and that's
McBride, a fair basketball player as well as a pretty good receiver. Fakes short, throws well over the head of Dante Marski rather. Faked the short pass, but couldn't get the defensive back to bite on it. Second and 10. 4:43 left in the game. Clock stopping on the incompletion. Takes Conant a long time to get those plays in from the sideline. Burns up a lot of clock. Oh, off the hands of Brown. Brown just not having a good game here. Don't know if Modalski's putting a little too much velocity on there, but Brown's been hitting the hands several times tonight and dropped him.
He does put pretty good velocity on his ball, and that's part of the reason he's so low on interceptions, but on the other hand, it is a little harder for some of the receivers to hang on to.
Got it complete out to McBride again. Down around the 12-yard line.
McBride having quite a night receiving for Conant.
Yes, he is.
The tackle for Barrington. First down after 12.
So Conant has the opportunity to get a first down at the 2-yard line. Hopes it doesn't come to that. The clock definitely against them now with 4:35 left in the game. Modalski back.
Modalski, but
and the pocket collapses down. And he's down. Loses
and that's
2.
31 again. Castagna coming in from left end or left linebacker, either one, and making that tackle there for a loss.
Second down for the 15. Just over 4 minutes left.
Conant will have to work a little harder. Here's Medalski.
Oh, almost picked off.
Picked off that time. That was a stop and look route, and
Scotty Miller on the defense there.
Number 15.
pass defense has been generally pretty. There haven't been any serious blowing of assignments here where there's people getting wide open by either team throughout most of the night. Maybe one or two times.
Well, that one long pass by Barrington.
The one long one by Barrington, yeah. Where
that one thrown over the head of the running back Gardner.
Fourth down, 4th and 13.
So it'll be 4th and 13 with 4:05.
4:05 and down by 12. This is right to this point. This is the play of the game right here.
Yes, it is.
4:05. Down by 12.
So Conant looking for a score, Barrington looking for a stop, and it comes down to this play.
Barrington going to rush 4 or 5 or what? It almost looks like
down.
a 4 or 5 down. Spin around.
Off the hand of Brown
Going to be
again.
incomplete and no flags.
And he's drilled.
Barrington takes over. They're in that position where if they get a couple of first downs, they just about seal it.
That was number 11, Evan Struck, on the defense for Barrington. So that's pretty much the ball game. 4:01 left. Barrington leading by 12.
Probably try to pound it with Abel here and run some clock off and get a first down, and that should just a first down or 2 first downs would certainly probably do it, you know, with a 12-point lead.
Yep.
For a while there, it looked like Barrington was going to make a route out of this the way they were going. They had 25. There's quite a run. He gets a first down right away here on
Picked
first
up
down.
about 15 yards, Dylan Abel.
So that gets the first down. It stops the clock for a little while they're moving the flags around and the chains around. And now the chains have been moved and the clock is running. Barrington has its first down out at the 29. Kubiak taking a maximum amount of time off the clock here. Now
No, that's not Kubiak, that's number 4.
Kubiak, oh, that's
Carbonara.
Carbonara, okay. He's in there for the purpose of running the football.
Hands it off to Dylan Abel, who picks up about 3 yards around the left side.
He's one of the many wide receivers on the team, normally. But in this situation, where it makes sense to run the football almost exclusively, he's in at quarterback.
Pulls it back, keeps it up the middle, picks up about 4 yards. So 3rd and a long 2. Carbonara is the holder on the extra points, and he was the one who was able to throw it in for that 2-point conversion in the second period.
Got some passing ability and was able to show it off and make it effective for Barrington in that instance. As he may, there's only 2 wide outs right now. There's a lot of conversations going on.
Conant showing blitz and backing out. Timeout called by Barrington.
Timeout.
1:58 left in the game.
2 weeks from tonight, the regular season.
So we're under 2 minutes, and it's 32-20 Barrington.
And it'll be senior night. at Barrington.
And it looks like Barrington is
For all of our
just about ready to chalk up victory number 6.
will be honored that night.
And Conant is still looking for that all-important 5th win to be at least eligible for playoffs. You still have to have enough points, and they probably do have enough points. So they'll have to most likely wait until next week. But they've got a little chance here if this doesn't go.
Oh, the keeper.
Keeper by, he's got it.
By Carbonara.
Carbonara spun out of 1 tackle. He's got the first down with 1:52 showing. They're moving the chains right now, and fresh set of downs that
and a timeout called by Conant. Very good fake on that last play by Carbonara. Dylan Abel looked like he was going to be dropped for a loss, but he didn't have the ball.
Larry Johnson. And Pastor, and Pastor Al Johnson. Thanks, guys. That was Larry even. Thanks, guys.
Okay, minute 52. As the teams are back out onto the field. Time just not Conant's friend here. Handoff goes nowhere. Number 21, Nate King, dropped for a 2-yard loss. And another timeout called by Conant. Palatine from. Score still reported as 20-14.
with Palatine out in front.
Palatine out in front, yeah. So from hanging around.
Having trouble on offense without Beutler.
Yeah.
And
but down by 6, so they've still got a chance.
Got a chance to win it, that's for sure.
Schaumburg still up 35-7 over Hoffman Estates. So minute 41 here as the teams line it back up.
Second down and 12. Barrington with an opportunity to run some more time off the clock, and the give is up the middle there, pile up a little bit beyond the line of scrimmage.
Dylan Abel back to about the original line of scrimmage of the 42-yard line.
So that brings up 3rd and 10.
Time on the field.
Somebody's an injured player maybe, or some equipment or something out there, it looks like.
I don't know. Okay, so the clock running now. I guess that was the problem. It hadn't started.
Carbonara is in there at quarterback, and it's 3rd and 10.
They're just running as much time off the clock as they can. Handoff again up the middle, and another loss.
It'll be stopped this time again for a loss, so that brings up 4th down, but now we're down to minute 3, so this drive has served the purpose of running a lot of time off the clock, and we're down to minute 3. They do have to punt it now, but with a minute 3 and a 12-point lead, Barrington is in a very dominant position right now as far as concluding this game with a victory.
Even if Conant's able to get one of those 9-second drives, they still have to get the ball back.
Have to get the ball back again, and it's, you know, when you're under a minute, you can take a knee, you know. So all you have to do is recover the onside kick and put the game away.
And getting that onside kick is not easy to do.
Yeah, for the offense, for the kicking team. Yeah.
So Schaumburg Hoffman a final 35-7, a Schaumburg victory.
Fourth down here. Alan Castagna.
Still 2014 Palatine in the fourth period.
7-0 for Schaumburg. They play Fremd next week, and Fremd has had some trouble putting points on the board. And I think Schaumburg has Palatine in the final game. Well, this game, the pace of the game has slowed by the referees.
I think glacial might be an adequate description. It's taking forever to get anything done.
The last minute and a half has really gone slow.
So there's the punt.
There's the punt.
Very nice punt.
Deep.
Driving Kofer back to the 15. And flags fly.
Flags flying, and Kofer breaking.
Kofer is running.
There's flags all over the place, but this is quite a run. This is a.
And he cuts it back.
One heck of a run. He cuts it back, and he's down all the way to the 8-yard line or so.
Terry McGovern not going to give up the score, even though
there's 3 flags on the field back around where just in the area just in front of him as he caught the ball. So that's usually suggestive of clipping or holding against the receiving team.
But McGovern saying, I don't care how many flags there are, you're not getting that.
He had quite a run.
Yes, he did. Well, that would have made it a little more interesting.
Going to be, it's against Conant, and just what is it? It's one of the two, I suppose. Clip or a hold.
Well, there are 3 flags. It could be both.
Now they're walking it off. We've only got 38 seconds left to go in this game. We've been down to under a minute and a half for the last maybe 10 minutes of normal time.
And that was a hold.
Hold, and that puts Conant all the way back to the 10-yard line. So they're still down by 12. Now there's only 38 seconds left in the game, so we'll see Modalski air it out a couple of times.
Gets it out to McBride.
Yeah, McBride, who's been catching passes.
And Barrington will give him that underneath stuff all night long.
Yeah, all night long. So
all 34 seconds that remain.
Modalski
throws that away.
Throws that one out. I think in this situation you might as well throw it real deep. You know, when you're down to 29 seconds.
And there's a flag that flies late.
And you're down by 12 points, you might as well keep it inbounds and throw it deep to somebody. I don't know. Throw it deep to a guy that's covered and let your receiver fight for the ball. The game's on the line. But anyway, we're now down to 29 seconds left in this game, and another penalty is being walked off.
Unsportsmanlike against Conant.
It's been a battle here tonight, and one that got fairly tight for a little while there after Conant fell down by 25-7. They had it down to a 5-point game for a while.
So a draw play.
That's Gardner.
Yeah, able to break a few tackles, get out to the 30.
And we're 17 seconds with a running clock, so it's Conant doesn't have any timeout, so we've got time for maybe one more play here the way it's going.
And another draw
there's another
play.
Run. Gardner.
So that'll finish off the game.
And that does it. So, in a game where we saw some big plays, the big play by where Miller caught the long touchdown pass, that turns out to be a big part of the differential in this game. Conant had the misfortune of being stopped on the 2-yard line and then turning it over fairly deep in Barrington territory. So there were a couple of potential scores there that just didn't happen, and the final here is 32-20. Barrington definitely in the playoffs with a 6-1 record now, and Conant, they need to pick up at least one more win in the next 2 games to be eligible for the playoffs. So these are 2 teams that are most likely, one will definitely be in the playoffs, and most likely both will be in the playoffs. They put on a good competitive game tonight, and it did get tightened up to 25-20, but Barrington executed well on offense and was able to retain its lead here.
Well, next week we'll be up front where the Vikings host the Schaumburg Saxons, and just hoping to keep that game competitive. So for John Anderson, I'm Bruce Anderson. I hope you enjoyed the game. Again, the final 32-20 Barrington. See you next week.